are willing to do that, I think UMNO will be easily buried in no time. So we have had enough of that. And we cannot tolerate living in Malaysia for next generation, next future generation with that in mind. Now I wish to inculcate in me and all the Perantians for the last 10.5 months. Never before in Perak, whenever we have any function, you have all the three main races there. Tahu tak? Orang Cina boleh pergi masjid, boleh pergi ke tempat-tempat pondok-pondok orang Melayu. Orang Melayu boleh pergi ke tokong-tokong ke gereja-gereja. Orang India boleh datang masjid. Kami pergi ke markas-markas mereka. DAP datang markas PAS. I was in Bidor last week. When I was there. Kita lihat dalam Bidor tu ada 200 meja makan. Makan malam itu ada di tokong Cina Bidor. Di hadapan tu 10 meja orang PAS. Dekat sana 3 meja orang Sikh. Di belakang itu 5 meja orang India, 2 meja orang asli. Where can you find that? Ada 4 pengurusi malam tu. Satu pengurusi perempuan pakai cheongsam. Satu pengurusi laki-laki Cina pakai baju Melayu. Saudara-saudara, we enjoyed that in Perak for the last 10.5 months. Why? Because I have been brought up that way. I've been brought up to make sure that all the principles that we wanted to make sure that the Perakians will adhere to principles of universal values. Itu sahaja. Yang itu terkandung dalam Al-Quran. Itu sebab YB Narkomen, YB Chang Teja, YB Kenny, YB Ong daripada Tebing Tinggi. It is them who recited verses of the Quran. Because that was the very principle that have been taught on me by Tuan Mohd Aziz, by Prophet Muhammad. YB Narkomen always recite the verse. Inna Allah ya'muru bil adli wal ihsan. Why we not comment? Always recited that verse. Which UMNO did not like. For the last 51 years, they have never exposed and taught MCA that particular verse. But for just 10.5 months, the AP learned something from Muslim, from Islam. We learned something from what the AP is doing and what PKR is doing. So which means now, untuk kita memastikan politik baru di Malaysia ini adalah politik yang menghormat antara satu sama lain, maka kenalah ada politik yang dibuat oleh Pakatan Rakyat sekarang. Saudara-saudara, after all the leaders of the AP now, state as well as national, all the leaders of Parti Keadilan Rakyat, state and national, all the leaders of PAS, state and national, we are professional people. It is only that the UMNO media that have been telling the Malays that DAP is highly Chinese chauvinistic. It's only the Malay papers that have been telling the Chinese that PAS is extremist. But when you see myself, when you see PAS now, do you feel afraid of me? Why Big Tai has been with me? I don't know why Big Tai before. But for the last 10.5 months, we worked together with PKR, we worked together with the AP. We managed the state so well that for the last 30th of December 2008, for the first time, pada akhir bulan Disember 2008, our accounts show that the revenue has increased to almost 100 million for last 10 months. We managed the state in March 2008. We expanded these principles and the rakyat were willing to pay for all the taxes, land taxes and whatever. UMNO Barisan Nasional selama 50 tahun, yang paling tinggi yang mereka pernah kutip hasil adalah 537 juta. For last 50 years, the highest ever collected by Barisan Nasional was 537 million. Tapi Pakatan Rakyat only for a half 10.5 months, we collected 636 million. Almost 100 million lebih. Kenapa? Why? Did Pakatan Rakyat increase the rate? No. Did we force them to pay? No. It is because rakyat lebih Perak rasakan inilah kerajaan yang tidak ada corruption, inilah kerajaan yang adil, inilah kerajaan rakyat bagaimana bayar. They voluntarily pay their duties. Itu yang kita nak, supaya rakyat Malaysia tahu tanggungjawab dia. Dia hormat kerajaan kerana inilah kerajaan yang tidak ada corruption, maka dia dengan sukarela bayar tanggungjawab dia. We Malaysians are taught to be law-abiding citizens. Kita bayar road tax, kita bayar cukai pintu, kita bayar cukai-cukai yang lainnya. Tapi bila UMNO nasional menjadi kerajaan, mereka malas nak bayar. Mereka tahu kalau bayar apa duit itu di kroni UMNO. Saya tahu bayar. Tapi Pakatan Rakyat 10 bulan setengah, mereka bayar sampai kami dapat 636 million. Yang paling tinggi, saudara. Dan di antara lekal-lekal lain yang kita beri kepada rakyat. I'm telling you, Pakatan Rakyat was only formed on the 9th of March 2008. Before that, kita ada barisan alternatif. Though the leaders worked together with the leaders of the AP, but there was no official relationship between the two, between the AP and Barisan Alternatif. So dalam pilihan raya 2008, Barisan Alternatif Keadilan dengan PAS, mereka membuat manifesto. Di antara lain, salah satu daripada manifesto itu, kerajaan kalau berkuasa, Barisan Alternatif, kita akan memberikan hak milik geran tanah kediaman selama-lamanya kepada kampung tersusun, kampung baru dan kampung adat orang asli. That was made by Barisan Alternatif. There was still a manifesto throughout the campaign. After the resolution of Parliament on the 14th of February 2008, maka Barisan Alternatif keluarkan manifesto, one-page manifesto. And one of the promises, kalau Barisan Alternatif menjadi kerajaan, kita akan bagi hak milik selama-lamanya kepada kampung tersusun, kampung baru dan kampung asli. Apabila kita menang, kita bergabung dengan DAP, maka kita memenuhi janji kita. We have to fulfill our promise. It so happened DAP won 18 seats. And many of the seats, or many of the EXCO members of the AP are very fluent with land issues, with land regulations, Kanun Tanah Negara National Land Court. So they help the government. We have 5 lawyers from the AP who are in the committee EXCO government. Mereka membantu Pakatan Rakyat because ini adalah janji Pakatan Rakyat. Tapi diinterpretasikan oleh UMNO dalam konteks perkauman Melayu UMNO bahawa ini adalah boneka DAP bagi geran hak milik kepada kampung baru sahaja. Si how UMNO punya media pelipara. And they were successful in throw using that issue. Kenapa? Karena throw untuk orang Melayu dia masih lagi macam buah throw, lambat. Jadi saudara, ini bukan janji daripada DAP. Ini janji daripada lepas dan keadilan. We made that promise. Oleh kerana apa? Oleh kerana kami lihatkan kalau kita tak buat begitu, maka tidak adil kerajaan. Maka kerajaan Pakatan Rakyat must behave and must be seen to behave the exact opposite of Barisan Nasional. Therefore now, saya nak merayu, kalau seluruh ahli-ahli MCA boleh tinggalkan Barisan Nasional. Kerana apa? Kerana MCA menanamkan semangat perkauman dalam orang Cina MCA. That is bad. Kalau MIC boleh tinggal, kalau orang India boleh tinggalkan MIC, kerana apa? Kerana MIC tanam semangat perkauman dalam orang India. Dan kalau orang Melayu boleh tinggalkan UMNO, kerana UMNO tanam semangat perkauman, saudara-saudara, BN will just tumble down. Which means the politics of Malaysia in the way ahead, there must not be any element of racism, any element of racists in their hearts. Then we're able to respect one another, which we have tasted and enjoyed in Perak for the last 10.5 months. And we enjoyed them to a certain extent in Selangor, in Penang, in Kedah, and certainly in Kelantan. So why not we expand this enjoyment even to Perlis, Negeri Sembilan, Johor,